Prince Charles married Lady Diana Spencer in 1981, you either watched it on the telly, didn't you, or you heard it on the radio. Well, fast forward 30 years, and the number of ways to catch the event that's happening next Friday seem endless. Not only is it going to be available on television and radio, you can watch it online, you can get updates via Twitter, you can even watch it on your mobile phone. But wouldn't it be great if you could go one step further and you could have Kate's point of view as she walks down the aisle? Wouldn't that be great? As you're watching maybe a television screen, you can see what she's seeing as she walks down the aisle. Well, you can, apparently. It's down to a smartphone application that gives you a view of Westminster Abbey. It's been designed by a company here in Essex, I'm proud to say. Creation Studios are based in Rayleigh, and Tony Nottage is the managing director. Good morning.
Hi.
Very exciting. What, for all those of us who are a little bit behind, what is an app? What's an application?
Well, basically, they've gone completely mad the past kind of like year or two, really with the advent of the iPhone and then the iPad, and now everybody's kind of gone on the bandwagon, and you've got Android and Nokia and Blackberries and all the rest of them. That
la 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 la. You lost me. La,
Sorry.
La, la, la. Hang on. What are these? What are these smartphones? What are they? Why are they smarter than the phone I've got in my pocket? What makes them smart?
I mean, in effect, they're like a mini computer that just happen to have a phone on them, and so that's really what you're looking at nowadays. I mean, they're so powerful; they're much more powerful than what computers were a few years ago. And basically, what an app is, in effect, is like a computer program that's running on the phone. But it's very, very easy to run. You literally go to the app store that's on the phone, and you choose the app that you want. And on the iPhone, I think there's about 300,000 now.
300,000?
Yeah, so you can pretty much find something on pretty much anything you can think of.
So, right, you go on your mobile phone. I'm sorry, if you know all this, then fine. Well, you're a clever clogs. But there's a lot of us who, want to catch up with you. So hang on, bear with us for a second. So you go on your mobile phone, your smartphone, either Android or Apple, the iPhone, so they're the main ones, aren't they?
They're the main,
they're the main two. And you say, right, I want to buy this application, and you bring it down onto your phone, do you?
Yeah, a lot of actually the apps are free. There's a lot that are free, and there's obviously several which, you start paying for depending on kind of what you're getting. The more you get, the more you pay, sort of thing. So
right, so you suddenly think to yourself, I want to look at Westminster Abbey. So you get your iPhone out, you press the little application on the front of it that says that, and then what happens?
So once you've kind of like found the app, and then you download it, and then obviously it launches, and with the one that we've created, we've actually recreated the whole of Westminster Abbey in 3D. So the whole of the Abbey was laser scanned, every 2 millimetres of it, and then we took that data, and then we transferred it all as a 3D model, and then we spent about 2 months texturing it and lighting it and making it look like the real Abbey. All by hand. And then creating a kind of a 3D world, and then just like you would a film set, we've then set up cameras and everything, and as you say, we start as the app starts, you come through the kind of like main open window at the beginning and fly down, and then you start where Kate Middleton's actually standing when she's about to walk down the aisle.
So on your mobile phone, you can literally control it. So you walk up the aisle and maybe then turn to the left and have a look at that? Turn to the right? Can you do that?
What we've done is actually created kind of pre-rendered animations, so you actually can do a fly through, and it takes you through her kind of like walk down the aisle, but then it also takes you up into areas that the public can't see, and even the cameras on the day aren't going to see things like the shrine at the back, which is where they're actually going to be signing the register, and the cameras aren't allowed to go in there. But obviously, because we're in 3D, we've been able to bring our camera up over the altar and look down into the shrine, so you can kind of see areas that you
fly the Abbey.
Exactly. Yeah.
And this is an official one. This is
this is officially
official.
for Westminster Abbey. Yeah, Westminster Abbey commissioned us to do it just after Christmas, and
that must have been so exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah. We'd been talking to them about basically Westminster Abbey at the moment have like an audio guide, and so people come in, they pay their entrance, put an audio guide on, and then what tends to happen is they're kind of like all looking at the floor, listening to this audio guide whilst they're walking around and concentrating on what they're listening to. And so the idea was to create an app that people could come in and then use it as like a virtual tour, so they can look at the app and then look around and find sort of feature areas within the Abbey. Right. And so this was before the wedding. And then obviously, so we were looking at doing this, and we were sort of like looking at different ways of doing it, and decided to do the whole 3D route. And then obviously they found out they'd got the wedding, and so it was decided, well, it would be magnificent to actually show.
This is important for us here in Essex, and for you, of course. How do you make your money out of this? Do they commission you to create this? Or,
yes.
Or do you take a percentage of each of these that's sold, or what? I mean, what?
No, I wish we would get a percentage.
That'd
but
be good, wouldn't it?
All of the money from the app is going to charity. Half of it's going to the Royals charities that they've chosen, and the other half is going to Westminster's charity, which obviously looks after the Abbey. And so we don't get a penny ourselves from the app. So we just get some money from the actual production of the app, and obviously hopefully it's always going to be updated, and there'll be one which obviously relates to Westminster after the wedding one as well. So
what were you tempted when you were asked to do this, especially for the royal wedding, to put animated Kate and Wills in? Wandering up. I mean, and an animated Queen going...
It was definitely... because we do a lot of character animation, so we do everything from, like, strawberries to, like, talking strawberries right through to all sorts of things.
Fantastic.
So,
you could have had talking strawberries walking up the aisle of the Abbey. How fantastic that would have been.
So it was tempting. We were talking about avatars for the royal couple and things like that, but no, it was decided to kind of
do it straight.
Do it straight.
What other ones have you done?
We've done a few games and things like that, so we haven't done anything as major as this. So this is our kind of like biggest app. So and really we've got kind of two sides to the business, which is the web solution side and the animation side. And so obviously we've done a lot of websites and a lot of sort of smaller apps for websites and things like that. So this is kind of like an accumulation and joining the two kind of forces together. So it's nice.
What skills do you have to do what you do? I mean, do you have to... this sounds terribly rude, but it's not supposed to be. Are you sort of computer geeks? Do you sit there and write programs?
Yeah. Basically. We've got there's kind of two sides. There's on the development side for the apps, there's the geeks that sit there and they do the coding and all the developing, and then on the animation side there's the geeks that sit there and they're kind of modelling and sculpting and texturing and and that's my side. I enjoy doing that sort of side.
You are changing our entire world, aren't you?
We're trying.
So exciting.
What's the Matrix.
Your next? Yes, exactly. No, please. Or are we in the Matrix now?
You never know.
You never know. So, what's your next... what are you working on at the moment?
We're in discussions about doing a dance app, and which is kind of like a Strictly Come Dancing, teaching people how to dance and learn the right moves and things like that. And we've got a couple of kind of like medical apps and things like that. We've got a big animation that we've just completed called The Fruit Cases. We've completed a pilot with Rolf Harris and Chris Barry, and we're taking that to Annecy, which is a big animation festival in June, to kind of pitch that to all the networks. So we're hoping for a commission for a kids' TV series for that. And did another show called Madrigal, which is with Richard E. Grant, which is another kind of kids animation, slightly older audience, a bit kind of like a female Harry Potter.
And this is all happening here in Essex.
Yeah, we're working hard.
It's fantastic, isn't it? It's brilliant. Oh, congratulations. How do people get hold of this app?
It's with Apple at the moment, and we're fingers crossed. It looks like we might be a featured app, which is nice. So we're hoping it's going to go live today, or at least over the weekend, and then next week hopefully it'll be a featured app. And and people can just go straight onto the App Store on their iPhone, their iPad, and also the Android marketplace, so pretty much all of the smartphones with Android, and you can just go on and it's £2.99, and as I said, all of the profit goes straight to the charities. So
Tony, you're just in a different world. It's fantastic. It's exciting. It's just so great. Thank you very much for coming. It's great to meet you.
No problem.
Tony Nottage, a man of the future, Managing Director of Creation Studio Productions here in Essex.
BBC Essex.